Okay, my friends, you want to see where my doctor is? It was really funny. He said, when I posted that last video about the dentist, he said one of his friends in Ireland, Ilya's watching. He said, Ilya sent it to him. He said, hey, is he talking about you? So I thought that was so funny. That's it right there. Stomatologiska ordinacja Alexander Svetlana Tepovac. Right here in this passage, Dunavska 6. So that's where it's located, right by my house. Okay, my friends, you want to see what they've done here in Novi Sad? This is the Christmas lights. Those are new for this year, I think, those big light bulbs they put in the trees. I just got back from the surgeon, a real nice guy. My dentist took me to the surgeon. He spoke English perfectly. He said, today's free, but since you're an American, he said, today's free, but next time I'm going to double charge you. So he's got some humor too. And he told me exactly what I need done. I need to get 4 of those removed. And so, that's just stressful. And part of it, 3, he said 3 of them surgically, and one of me thinks he can get out non-surgically. So, that's just creepy. But anyway, enough about my teeth. You can see how beautiful downtown is.
Hey, ciao, my friends, dobro jutro. How ya doing? Hope you're well. My first cup of the coffee, first cup of coffee today for my Sherena Sholya here. Sherena means colorful, Sholya is a cup. See, I know my Serbian. Last night I had my first Serbian test. And since this video is going to be talking more about my dental experience, let me use a verb. I'll tell you what, my test last night in Serbian language was on the conjugation of verbs, okay? Which the verbs here are just so incredibly difficult for me. I think I did well. I had about 15 verbs. But for instance, jesti, okay? Since we're talking about teeth, we're going to talk about the verb to eat. Okay, the infinitive form of to eat in Serbian, the equivalent would be jesti, okay? Jesti will be broken into 6 different forms here, whatever you want to call it. Ja jedem, ti jediš, on jede, mi jedimo, vi jedite, oni ono, jedu. Most of the verbs in Serbian have similar type endings for those 6, with the exception of like jedu, that's hard to remember. Like peku, which is to bake, oni peku, that's u ending, and a lot of them don't. So it can be very confusing, but I'm taking this slow. I've got a good teacher. I mean, it's a friend. So I'm taking it slow. You know, it's already been 10 years. So what's another year? I also bought some different books, which in the morning, I'm a morning person. I like getting up in the morning. It's 7 o'clock. I love getting up in the morning. I just hate people in the morning. So I thrive in the morning. With my ADHD is more under control, I think, in the morning. After I wake up, my mind is not as racy. So when I have my first coffee, I can focus more. So it's a better time for me to study and to do things. But it's not a good time to socialize with me because I'm not a nice guy. I like making videos in the morning. But if you know me, if you see me, if you come to my office in the morning, I usually don't speak. I'm the type of person that walks in the office and I'll just go straight to my office. I just don't like to be bothered unless I have a couple cups of coffee, okay? From a Sherena Sherpa. A Sherpa, a Sherpa's a pot. A couple pots of coffee, that's more like it, but a Sherena Sholya. Anyway, let's get to the point here today. We don't want to just blab. We're going to talk about my dental experience. Day 2 of Serbian dental experience here. I intentionally didn't show the dentist the other day because I wanted to see how it was. I wanted to see how follow-up was. But now I feel comfortable showing the dentist, the oral surgeon, and the place who did the x-rays, okay? Firstly, this is the dentist I chose. Dr. Svetlana Tepovac. She's been in business for like 30 years. This is her son, Alexander. Just an absolutely phenomenal person. Speaks English great. Will sit there and answer any stupid question you might have and dumb it down for people like me who are not that intelligent. It's located Dunavska 6, okay? In the passage, you saw it. But anyway, I'm not getting paid by him, okay? But I just am a guy who believes in supporting Serbian businesses. If I see a good product, I will make a video about it. If I see a good food, I will make a video about it. And if I think it's worthy, I will show the person who makes it because I think it's important. Here, customer service is very good in a lot of places. In a lot of places, it sucks, like the bus stations here and the post offices, these these government jobs. The people are usually not very friendly, but in the private sector, they're great. And this is a private dentist here, okay? Anyway, I had an appointment at 6:30 on Monday to see the doctor. I had forgotten that he gave me another slip to get a more defined x-ray of this tooth here that I had a root canal done here in Serbia about 4 years ago, okay? He said in that full x-ray that I had, he said I needed to go back because he said he saw some discoloration or something over here between these teeth, and he wanted to do just an x-ray of this shot. So I had to go back to that same clinic. And let me show you the clinic because it was a phenomenal experience once again. And I'm not just making this up. This is true, okay? This is the clinic I went to, RTG. I went back there with my little slip from the dentist. I walked right in, nobody else in there. The same lady was in there. She remembered me. I didn't even have to say my name. I walked in, she said, Charles. I said, hi, dobar dan. I said, još jedna x-ray. She said, come in, sit down. I sit down. She put this thing over here. She told me to push with my finger to hold this thing in place. She said, wait just a couple minutes. I was there no longer than 4 minutes. She printed out that new x-ray, emailed it to my dentist, gave me the negative. And I said, okay. I said, wow, that was so fast. I said, koliko košta? She said, nothing. Get out of here. Oh, really? How many times is that going to happen in the USA? You go back to an x-ray clinic, you take an x-ray of your tooth, and they say, just go. Such good service. So then I run over to the doctor. I get there at 6:30 to Dr. Alexander. I walk in his office. Him and his mother are there. Dr. Svetlana. I said, dobro veče, svima, kako ste, blah, blah, blah. Little pleasantries. And then he sets me down. He pulls up the x-ray, the more defined one, and he said, Charles, I think there's a problem. He said, it looks like that last root canal, they did not go down deep enough. And it looks like you have some infection in your bone. And when you hear that, it's like, what? That's scary stuff. He said, no, it's not all that serious at this very moment. He said, there's something, this whole tooth, it's covered by almost a huge filling. So it was tough for them to save it last time. So he said, what we can do, we can try to take that out. I can try to drill down there, put some medication in there and try to stop that. Or we might just remove it. And you could possibly put an implant, you could definitely, because that's one I chew on all the time, put an implant and a crown on there. He said, we got to just think about that. So then he said, okay, firstly, we have to go to this surgeon here. So he, the dentist, my doctor, whatever, I call him doctor too, because they are doctors, right? He said, let's go. We got to go to my car, and we got to drive over to our oral surgeon that he partners with, okay? So I said, great, let's go. Put our coats on, we're walking down there, and he says, funny story. He said, yesterday I was at home, and a friend of mine from Ireland, his name is Ilya. Ilya's watching. Hey, Ilya, what's up, brother? He said, a friend of mine in Ireland messaged me and said, hey, is this YouTube guy talking about you? Because I know Charles lives on Dunajska, and you're on Dunajska. And the dentist is like, what? Somebody's talking about me on YouTube? That's what Alexander said, so he pulled it up, watched it. And then he had somebody else mention that they knew me. And then he said the lady at the x-ray place, she said, thanks for sending Charles there. I know Charles. So it's like, wow, you know, Mali Svet here in the Serbian world. And I'm honored that so many folks know who I am. That's why I always try to be very friendly and nice to everybody here. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So we get in his car. We drive over to this clinic. Let me show you this one. This Markov Dental Care, okay? This is over in Limun, Dva, or I don't know, over by the universities. Dr. Markov, real nice guy, very modern clinic. He's been in business for about 30 years. Him and Svetlana, they started a practice together, and he is the oral surgeon, Mr. Markov. We walk in there, beautiful clinic, go right into his office. He said, I said, Drago mi, dobro večer, whatever. And he said, what language do you prefer? I said, well, English. He says, oh, English? Okay. Sets me down in a chair, pulls up that whole original x-ray of my mouth. And he said, what do you want out of this? And I said, well, he said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I've heard, I said, my dentist here, Dentist Alexander, he was there still waiting and listening. He said, maybe a couple of them do need removed. Maybe the other two we don't need to, maybe. They can stay. But I said, my whole goal of coming to the dentist, it wasn't mainly pain, but it was, I want to get my teeth straightened. I've always wanted to, and I have more money at this moment to devote to that. And I said, I want to get them cleaned and maybe straightened nicely, maybe braces or some other option. And he said, okay. He said, looking at this, he said, I think you need this one removed, this one removed, this one removed, and this one removed. All four, the far back ones. And I said, ooh. He said, I think we can get this one, and this one surgically. And this one I think I can just get without surgery. And I said, awesome. Then what else? He said, are you having discomfort over here when you chew? And I said, no. I mean, slight maybe. I've been chewing all the time over here because of the sensitive molar here. And somebody asked in the comments what the sensitivity was. He said he wants me to use Sensodyne because he said I have a crack in a filling that he's going to fix. But he said he thinks that there's an slightly exposed root from my gum up here. And he said Sensodyne he thinks will help that. It just, the sensitivity comes from like cold and hot. So I've been chewing on this side of my mouth. And Dr. Markov, the surgeon, he said, do you have any discomfort? Because he said, look here. He said, you do have that darker section. That's infection. You have infection here in your bone. And I said, man, that just scares me to hear. I don't even want to hear about that. And he said, nah. He said, don't worry about it. He said, it's not extremely serious at this moment. He said, so we do need to remove that impacted tooth. And he said, your dentist here thinks he can maybe save this tooth, but I don't know. And they said, when he removes this, he's going to do one side at a time. Take these two teeth out. Surgically, he's going to have to remove a little bone to remove them. That's so scary. It sounds ungodly painful, but he said it's not. I mean, Dr. Markov's got some humor too. He said, this isn't going to hurt at all when we do this, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, just a minute. He said, I lied. It's going to hurt a lot, okay? So he's really funny, made jokes about everything, and easy to talk to. He said, do you have any other questions? And then I see this x-ray, you know, and I said, what's this? There's a dark spot in this x-ray. I said, what exactly is that? Is that a scary thing? He said, no, that's just the way the x-ray is. It's so weird as a dumb guy who knows nothing about looking at x-rays. When I look at an x-ray and they see something, it's like, what the hell? What are you talking about? I don't see anything. But the thing I see on an x-ray, they always say, oh, that's nothing. You know, it's like, how do you see that, doctor? You know, so anyway, I'm going to have this and removed, this and removed, this and removed, and this and removed. He said, first priority are these two. So he's going to remove these sometime next week. Okay. He said, go home, think about what you want to do. So I get back in the car. Then as we're leaving Dr. Markov's clinic, I said, he sat there with us for a long time, explained everything, went over all this stuff. And so whenever I left, as I shook his hand, I pulled out my wallet and I said, okay, how much is this consultation? And he said, for an American, no cost. He said, but next time, double. He said, nothing, it's free. So I was like, wow. He took all this time to explain this to me for free. So we leave, we get back in the car with Dr. Alexander. And so I was thinking, I said, man, that sounds so painful to remove those. I said, does he knock me out? No, you're awake. Cutting bone out of my mouth while I'm awake? It sounds ungodly horrible. He said, no, it's not. He said, I had the same thing. And he said, it wasn't that bad. He said, it'll take about 4, 5, 6 days, depending on your body, to heal from those. And I said, some people were telling me never remove wisdom teeth. He said, well, he said, if they're not causing a problem, don't. But he said, if they are, you need to. And I do need to. So I'm going to. I'm going to get all 4 of these removed. This one here, we're still thinking. I asked him, the dentist, personally. I said, listen, as we're sitting in the car, I said, what would you do if this tooth was yours? You said, you think you can take that big filling out, go back down maybe, and put medicine in there and try to save it? Or would you just take it out, put an implant in, and a crown? And he said, honestly, he said, I would try to save it, because anytime I think you can save existing teeth, save them, you know. So I like that, you know. At least they're not trying to, the way I always see it, and when I look at people that are in service industries like that, private business, I always think, oh, they're going to try to do everything they can to take money, you know. But obviously not the case. I even asked the Dr. Markov, I said, so when you remove those, do I need implants in there? And he said, no. He said, just because there's a space somewhere doesn't mean you instantly put an implant and a tooth in there. You don't need to. You know, so I like that. You know, it's not like they're going to try to put 50 implants in, you know, and charge me for it. So that is where we are. He said also with that implant, he said, what we're going to do Monday, this coming Monday, December 14th, my best friend's birthday, Uroš Milić's birthday, he's going to fix the crack in this filling. And I forget what else he said up here. He's going to do something up to one of these. We're going to do that Monday. And then as soon as he sees how that is, he's going to instantly call Dr. Markov and set up a time next week to remove these 2. And he said right then, he said, hey, if you decide that you don't want this, try to fix this one molar and you just want it pulled out, as soon as he takes those 2 out, he can put that implant in. And here in Serbia, it's very affordable. Put the implant in immediately into the bone is 600 euros. The crown on top is 200. So it's $800 for an implant here, for the whole kit and caboodle, if you will, to put that in. I know, I'm not saying it's cheap for a Serbian. A Serbian person, $800 is more than most folks make in a month. But from the USA, somebody that lives in the USA, you know that's a damn good deal. Because an implant in the USA is what, 4,000 or 5,000? I don't even know, I'd have to look it up. Very expensive per tooth. But here, $800 to get a tooth that works, be good as new, you know. So anyway, that's my situation currently. Once again, Monday, he's going to fix that cracked filling, do something here, call the surgeon, Dr. Markov, to get these scheduled to be removed. I'm going to try to get one of my friends to come in with the camera, or with the video camera, and video my dental procedures, because I think it would be interesting for everybody to see. And then I'll show you the final bill. So since my dentist is watching and the surgeon is watching, they know they can't rip me off here, right? Anyway, my friends, that's my dental story for this morning here in Novi Beograd. I'm right here by Stari Mercator, where I'm going to go bowling. Me and my buddy are going shooting. We're going to go to a shooting range here in Serbia. Hopefully the person who runs it with the guns likes American people. I might say I'm a Canadian. No, I say I'm a Serbian. I'll use my lična karta. Another funny thing, when I checked into this apartment, it's a nice apartment here that I have right here on the main road, right by Stari Mercator, is like right there. But when I walked in, the older gentleman, the son who listed this on Airbnb, I rented it off of, but he's not here. So he had his dad come. His dad's an older gentleman who doesn't speak English well. So I came in, I said, hello, sir, drago mi je, ja sam Charles. He said, drago mi je, he said, izvini, jako malo, or malo engleski. I said, ništa, nema veze. I said, isto, srpski. And then he showed me around, and then he said, I need your passport. When did you come into Serbia? And I pull out my lična karta. I said, ja sam Srbin, gospodine. Here's my lična karta. He goes, oh, Srbin. Oh. He's probably thinking, what the fuck are we doing giving this idiot citizenship here, you know? Crazy, crazy. Anyway, my friends, that's my story. Gotta go. Have a nice weekend, my friends. Ciao, ciao.